Last week in No More Practice, Brett and Ian were confident in their unique vision. They believe they have a model that will work for the future, and they're on a mission to raise $1 million to make their dream a reality. They're confident and they're ready, but will they succeed? Their mentor Barry suggested in seeking the finance that they carefully consider equity over debt, that they grow more slowly and seek more advice.
But you've got to remember this, that at all times you are the business. You know all about the business. These people are here to help you, and don't let them sidetrack you too much. Otherwise, you start to go around in circles.
Yep.
So good luck.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
When we last saw Chris, his mentor Robbie questioned his decision to sell externally.
So have you considered who you're selling them to yet? Are you selling them to a friendly or someone you don't care about, someone you care about, or is it someone internal?
Look, I don't want to sell them to someone internally. Really like to see a young buck starting out, but who's prepared to back himself.
Meet Rod Bertino, Principal of BusinessHealth, one of Australia's leading practice management groups. Today, Rod will offer advice to Brett and Ian about their business model and suggest how to move forward.
I think you need to develop a plan, a document that outlines how you will use this $1 million. Prioritise your 3 biggest opportunities and start to build a low-level action plan on how we're going to attack these. Where do you see the greatest increase in revenue coming? Because when I look at your numbers, I just see potential everywhere.
We think that we're likely to get big growth in planning, revenue from planning, because that is the main engagement point.
What are you willing to give up for that? Are you looking for a debt facility? Are you selling equity in your business? Are you looking for a partner in your business that will inject the capital?
This is yours, mate.
Well, we mentioned earlier on that it's probably somebody who would just give us the money with no strings attached. Now, that's probably nirvana.
For us looking in from the outside, if you're going to bring in an equity partner, then someone that gives you the money and stays away, that's okay. But why wouldn't you have someone that gives you the money that then brings something to the table that you haven't got, or is able to turn more of that potential into dollars, and you share in that? The time's come to convert potential into money. So if you guys are doing anything that's not talking to a client, or someone will refer you a client, at least ask yourself why.
So Rod has suggested that Brett and Ian develop an action plan, turn potential into dollars, that an equity partner can bring something to the table, and that they should always be out talking to clients. So, our industry expert, Rod Bertino, has provided some sound insights. What do our judges think?
Rod gave a great piece of advice, which reminds me of a piece of advice that I once heard from a boss of mine, and he said, work is only these 3 things: preparing for seeing clients, and then following up seeing clients. And Rod really emphasised that, and we got a lot of nods and energy flowing from that from the team.
They've got to get that balance right between how much time do they perfect their processes versus how much time do they spend on new clients.
If they can show that they have been able to become more productive, they have become a more attractive business.
Now, it's Chris's turn to meet Rod Bertino. Chris wants to know if selling is the right thing to do, but Rod isn't so much interested in the selling.
The thing that jumped out at me initially is, why would you look to purchase a bundle of someone else's clients?
I think we're in a really privileged position, because when a larger financial planning practice identifies their C's and D's clients, often it's based upon revenue that they generate for the client. And they're generating a small amount of revenue simply because they're young clients. You know, they might have an income protection policy or a super policy that's got $20,000 in it. Now, they're our target market.
No one's yet captured that market space of the preeminent advice provider to Gen X and Gen Y. So I think in terms of a business strategy, the market's open for you. There is an opportunity to grasp that. And I think there was also a natural synergy. You mentioned in the brief that you were thinking about providing mortgage broking type services. Given the types of clients you're targeting, those younger Gen X, Gen Y, those people need and value professional debt management type advice. So I think at a high level, there's definitely opportunity there. Our advice to anyone that's looking to perhaps sell off part of their business, and we think it's a valid strategy for the right practices, is seriously look at your modelling. It makes a lot of sense to tailor your business around your target client, but can you continue to do the things you want to do, both in the short and medium term, without that revenue they generate? If you embark on this path and you are enormously successful, in 3 years, what will you be doing? What role will you be playing? How many hours a week will you be working? The second thing I'd suggest you do is sit down with Rhonda and discuss those plans you've got. For you to be successful, it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of commitment, and that will undoubtedly impact on not just your business life, but your personal life as well. Revisit your modelling. If you do sell off these, and you do buy a new bundle of clients in, and you do introduce a mortgage broking capability, can we do it? Does it all financially make sense? And the final thing I'd recommend you do, Chris, assuming you're still heading down this path, is, as we discussed before, get some clarity around what it is you're looking to buy, such that when you put your feelers out, when you go to market, you can define the block of clients quite clearly. So you're not going to waste a lot of time getting to second stage due diligence to find out, hang on, this is not what I wanted, because your time's the only real resource you've got.
Rod's advice to Chris was, he agreed that Gen X and Y do offer a real and emerging niche. Check his revenue modelling and ask the question, can he really afford to sell, to make sure that his future business plan and personal goals are aligned. And lastly, to define your purchase.
That's been sensational, Rod.
Good luck with it, mate. I really look forward to seeing how it progresses. Congratulations on where you've got.
Yeah, cheers.
You know, in a relatively short period of time, you've built such a strong base.
Yeah.
Be protective of that base.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look forward to seeing where you take it.
You're a champion. Thanks,
Good stuff, mate.
Good on you.
Cheers.
It is a big issue for advisory practices to get to that point in their evolution, to be really clear and say, you know what, despite the revenue these people generate, they're not the kind of clients that are going to take me into the future. That's a really, really bold decision and a really big decision. And then once you've made that call, it's clearly about finding the right fit.
So, our industry expert Rob Bertino has once again provided some sound insights. What do our judges think?
Chris needs to really understand how much time it frees up for him to spend on organic growth and pursuing new client opportunities. His business is targeting that XY sort of segment of the marketplace. So maybe it's a question of getting a reasonable price, moving those clients out, and therefore pursuing organic growth rather than necessarily buying other clients. But the question is, how does he top up the revenue that he's disposing of?
So there normally is a fairly simple cutover point, which is, can you invest all of your effort into the clients that you really want in your business, you're passionate about dealing with, and it's what your core business is all about, and can you leave behind those C's and D's that you don't want?
Building the business by culling a part of it, you know, I'm uneasy about that. The suggestion that it doesn't fit the business model, well, okay. Business models are changing in the current environment, changing very fast. But he's obviously got a lot of questions for himself, I think. And I think he knows the answers. He just has to take time out.
Next week, we look at the numbers. Do they add up? If you're like Chris and looking to find the right buyer, visit our practice toolbox and download the Identifying Prospective Buyers tool from BusinessHealth. And remember, if you'd like to ask our experts a question or meet them via LinkedIn, head over to our players page or join in the conversation by commenting on our blog.